Let all of us be seated. Let's be seated. I want to continue the meeting. Fellow shareholders, ladies and gentlemen, the time is 12 p.m. And in view of the presence of a quorum, I have great pleasure in declaring the meeting open. You are welcome to the virtual court-ordered meeting of Union Diagnostics and Clinical Services, PLC. As you all are aware, this meeting is being held virtually pursuant to the court order and in the interest of public safety and having due regard to the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, COVID-19 guidance for safe mass gathering in Nigeria and the restrictions on the number of individuals at public gathering by the Lagos State government and other relevant authorities. Directors and shareholders representatives have been selected by PROSI, and they will exercise their PROSIs as the meeting progresses. The following are the PROSIs for the shareholders. 1, Mr. Abiodun Akinkoye. 2, Mr. Anthony Nwozo. 3, Mr. Sunday Akinrotimi. Directors who are unavoidably absent have given power of attorney to other directors to act on their behalf. Shareholders who will be participating remotely have been sent links to enable them to do so. Before we proceed to the business of the day, I should mention that in accordance with our company's Articles of Association and pursuant to the court order, the quorum for general meeting, I am pleased to inform you that the company secretary has advised me that the quorum has been formed. Accordingly, this meeting being duly convened by the order of the court and properly constituted in accordance with the Companies and Allied Matters Act and our company's Articles of Association is hereby duly declared open. I would like to start this meeting by acknowledging members of the board and other distinguished persons who are seated here on the high table, starting with the Chief Executive Officer. By my right is Dr. Akini Olushola. My humble self, Mr. Tony Nwozo. Let me introduce directors for them. My friend there, Mr. Abiodun Akinkoye. His company secretary, Dr. Samuel Iroye. The legal advisor, Mrs. Bakari. So, I want to tender apology for directors that are absent and reason for their absence and their reason for their absence. Ambassador Adeyemi, that's our able chairman, is unavoidably absent. His absence is regretted, but is unavoidable. Dr. Kola Ola Akimoloya is also absent. His absence is unavoidable too. But they have given us power of attorney to jointly act on their behalf. So we are here standing for them. And of course, I also have the pleasure in introducing the company secretary. I've introduced Dr. Samuel Iroye, representative of the financial advisors, NBC Capital Limited. Please, if I call you, stand up I won't call you by name. If I call your company, you stand up for recognition. MBC Capital Limited. God bless you. Solicitor to the scheme, First Almond Attorney. I've introduced her, Mrs. Bakar. You can see, stand or let them see you. Fairness Opinion Advisor. They're here. Oh, you are welcome. Capital Bancorp PXC. Okay, God bless you. Edgefield Capital Management Limited, that's the stockbroker. Are they here? God bless you. First Registrars Limited. Oh, you are welcome. SEC, Securities and Exchange Commission. You are welcome. Nigeria Stock Exchange. Okay. Nikon. CAC. Before I call on the secretary to read the notice of convening the meeting, I would like to inform members that in accordance with the order of the Federal High Court dated 21st December 2020, session 275/8 of the Companies and Allied Matter Act 204, the Register of Directors shareholding is available for inspection throughout the meeting.
Thank you, Chairman, sir. I welcome everybody to the meeting, and I pray to be a great success. I'm reading the notice of court-ordered meeting. No? If you have the prospectus with you, is on page 39 of what you have with you. Just follow me. In the Federal High Court of Nigeria holding in Lagos, in the matter of Company and Allied Matters Act, in the matter of an application under Section 539, and in Reunion Diagnostic Clinical Services, meeting of the registered shareholders of issued and fully paid ordinary shares of Union Diagnostics and Clinical Services, PLC. Notice is hereby given that by order of the Federal High Court sitting in Lagos, hereinafter refers to as the court, dated Monday, December 21st, 2020, made in the above, the court has directed at a meeting, the meeting of the registered shareholders of the fully paid up ordinary shares of Union Diagnostics and Clinical Services PLC be convened for the purpose of considering and, if thought fit, approving a scheme of arrangement proposed to be entered into between Union Diagnostics and the holders of its fully paid ordinary shares of 50 kobo each, hereby called the scheme. The scheme is explained in detail in the explanatory statement on page 11 to 17 of the scheme document. The meeting will be held at Lagos Resource Center, number 9 Anifowoshe Street, Victoria Island, Lagos, by 12 p.m. on Monday, January 25th, 2021, or any other such venue as the company directors may deem fit appropriate. Shareholders will be able to be part of the program in a live stream meeting via a link that will be made available on the company website at www.uniondiagnostics.com.ng. Registrars of shareholders will commence 2 hours. Registrations of shareholders will commence 2 hours before the scheduled time of meeting. Copies of the scheme document and the explanatory statement require to be furnished pursuant to Section 539 and 540 of CAMA are enclosed herewith. At the meeting, the following subjoined resolutions will be proposed, and if thought fit, passed as a special resolution of the company. That the scheme, number 1, that the scheme of arrangement dated Monday, December 7, 2020, be and is hereby approved, and that the director be and are hereby authorized to consent to any modifications of the scheme of arrangement that the Federal High Court or any regulatory authority may deem fit to impose or approve, for the purpose of giving effect to the scheme in its original form or subject to such modification, addition, and condition agreed before the company and holders of its ordinary shares and or approved or imposed by the court. 1. The scheme shares, as defined in the scheme document, be transferred to Cedar Advisory Partners Limited. 2. Holders of scheme shares paid a cash consideration as defined in the scheme document by Cedar Advisory Partners Limited for the transfer of the said scheme share. 3. That as consideration for the transfer of scheme share, each holders of the scheme share shall receive 35 kobo per share. Number 4, that the board of directors of Union Diagnostic be and are hereby authorized to take all necessary steps and to consent to any modifications of the scheme of arrangement that the Federal High Court shall deem fit to impose or approve. By the order of the court has appointed Mr. Ambassador B.A. Adeyemi retire, or filling in Mr. Anthony Nwozo, or filling them both any other director of the company appointed in the stead by the shareholders present at the meeting to act as chairman of the said meeting, and has directed the chairman to report result thereof to the court. Voting at the meeting. Pursuant to the court order, in the interest of public safety and having regard to the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, COVID-19 guidance for safe mass gathering in Nigeria, and the restrictions on public gatherings by the Lagos State government, shareholders can only attend the meeting physically through a proxy. A proxy may be selected from any of the following individuals: 1. Mr. Biodun Akinkoye. 2. Mr. Anthony Nwozo. And 3. Mr. Akinrutimi Sunday, who are the selected proxies. The selected proxies are to attend the meeting physically and vote on their own behalf, as well as behalf of the shareholders who selected them as proxy. Other shareholders can join the meeting and follow the proceeding remotely via real-time streaming. The link for the live streaming of the meeting will be made available on the company website at www.unodiagnosis.com.ng. Shareholders may also participate at the meeting through any audio or visual communication facilities made available by the company. Further instructions on the procedure for the voting is contained in the notes below. A proxy form applicable for the meeting is being sent to each shareholder. In the case of joint shareholders, the vote of the senior holder who tenders a vote, whether in person or by proxy, will be accepted to the exclusion of the votes of the other joint holder. And for the purpose, seniority will be determined by order in which their names appear in the register of members of Union Diagnostic. It is requested that duly executed and stamped proxy forms, together with any power of attorney or any authority under which is signed or notarized, or a notarized copy of such power of attorney or other authority, be lodged at the office of the registrars of the company, who are the First Registrars and Investor Services Limited, as shown on the proxy form, not less than 24 hours before the time appointed for the court-ordered meeting. A member entitled to attend the court-ordered meeting who does not receive a copy of the scheme document within 14 days of the date of this notice can obtain copies of same from the Registrar of Union Diagnostic, First Registrars and Investors Limited, number 2, Abebe Village Road, Igomu, Lagos State, or on the company website at www.uniondiagnostic.com.ng. Closure of register of members. The register of members of the company will be closed on Wednesday, the 23rd of December 2020 to Wednesday, 30th December 2020, both dates inclusive, for the purpose of determining the attendance of the court-ordered meeting. Entitlement to attend and vote at the meeting of any adjournment thereof, and the number of votes which may be cast at the meeting will be determined by reference to the content of the registers of members of the company on Wednesday, 30th of December, year 2020. Changes to entreaties in the register of members of the company after that date and that time shall be disregarded for the purposes of this meeting. This order is dated Monday, the 21st of December, year 2020. Thank you. You're welcome.
The secretary having read the notice, I hereby declare the meeting duly convened. With the approval of members, the chairman's statement can be taken as read. God bless you. Ordinary business. First item on the agenda is item 1. To receive and consider the scheme of arrangement dated Monday, December 7, 2020, be and is hereby approved, and that the directors be and are hereby authorized to consent to any modifications of the scheme or of arrangement that the Federal High Court or any other regulatory authority may deem fit to impose or approve. The scheme document, along with the notice of the meeting, had already been circulated to members, and I believe that members all had had the opportunity of reviewing them. I therefore suggest that the scheme document and other supporting documents earlier circulated be taken as read. God bless you. Please, if there are questions, you can ask. Pope. Okay. Having dealt with all matters raised, the chairman informed the meeting that the shareholders have received and considered the scheme document and the notice of meeting and are satisfied. I wish to proceed. Having dealt with all the matters raised, and chairman informed the meeting that the shareholders have received and considered the scheme document and notice. I now propose the resolution that the scheme of arrangement dated Monday, December 7, 2020 be hereby approved, and that the directors be authorized to consent to any modification of the scheme of arrangement that the Federal High Court or any other regulatory authority may deem fit to impose or approve. I call the registrar to see. I will therefore please call the registrar to give the result of the pool. Okay. Before the registrar will come and give all the result of the pool, I would like the shareholder to rise and second this motion. I would like the shareholder to rise and second the motion. God bless you, sir. So I now, sir? I now put the resolution to the meeting. Will all those in favor of the motion please signify by prosy or show of hands?
For the purpose of voting on this resolution, is going to be by using of a device which has already been given to shareholders that are physically present, while others who have submitted proxies will be considered too. If you are having a voting device, it is being shown on the screen. If you are in favor of the resolution as a shareholder physically present, please press 1. But if you are against, please press 2. Thank you. So, resolution 1. To receive and consider the scheme of arrangement. If you are in favor and you are here as a shareholder, please press 1. If you are against, please press 2. One resistance. 3 seconds left. 2 seconds. Time up. Poll closed. At the end of the voting exercise, shareholders that are here physically present and voting by proxy, they are 240, having 203,225,680 units, which shows 100%. There is no dissenting vote on that resolution. Thank you.
Given the result by the registrar, I hereby declare that the resolution has been carried. The second item on the agenda is item 2. To approve the scheme in its original form, or subject to such modification, addition, and condition agreed between the company and holders of its ordinary shares, and or approved or imposed by the court. In line with the order of court dated 21st December 2020, it was directed that the above business be considered at this meeting, and if thought fit, approve same. I hereby move that the scheme shares, as identified in the scheme document, be transferred to Cedar Advisory Partners Limited, and holders of the scheme shares be paid a cash consideration as defined in the scheme document by Cedar Advisory Partners Limited for the transfer of the said scheme shares. Will a shareholder please rise and second the resolution? Please tell us your name. We are not hearing you. And now I put the resolution to the meeting. With those in favor of this resolution, please signify by proxies or show of hands.
By the use of voting device, which has already been given to shareholders present, while others are voted by proxies. So the voting exercise will soon commence. If you are in favor of that resolution, please press 1. If you are against, please press 2. The poll is still open. Two seconds left. Seconds. Poll closed. The result, please. At the end of the voting exercise on that resolution, we have 240 shareholders voting physically and by proxy, having the total number of shares of 203,225,680, representing 100%. No dissenting voice. Thank you.
We move on to item 3. I hereby declare that the resolution has been carried. The third item on the agenda is item 3. To consider and approve 35 kobo per share as consideration for transfer of the scheme shares. In line with the advice of financial advisors and fairness opinion obtained along with experts, independently sought the sum of 35 kobo as proposed as consideration for share for each holder of the scheme share, comprising of 1,407,855,051 ordinary shares of 50 kobo each. Proposed resolution that as consideration for the transfer of the scheme shares, each holder of the scheme shares shall receive 35 kobo per share. I have proposed the above resolution for adoption, that the sum of 35 kobo be approved as consideration per shares for the transfer of the scheme share by each holder of the scheme shares, totaling cash consideration in the sum of 492,749,268 naira. Will a shareholder please rise to second the resolution? God bless you. For seconder to be identified and name taken. I now put the resolution to the meeting. With those in favor of the resolution, please signify by proxy or show of hands.
For the purpose of voting on that resolution, it's going to be by use of a voting device, which has already been given to shareholders present physically. So if you are in favor of that resolution, please press 1. If you are against, please press 2. The poll is about to be open. That's to consider and approve 35 kobo per share as consideration. Thank you. Poll is still open. We have 4 seconds left. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Time's up. Result, please. At the end of the voting on that resolution, we have 240 shareholders voting physically and by proxy, having a total shares of 203,225,680, representing 100%. No against. Thank you.
I hereby declare that the resolution has been carried. Proposes resolution that the board of directors of Union Diagnostic be and are hereby authorized to take all necessary steps and to consent to any modification of the scheme of arrangement that the Federal High Court shall deem fit to impose or approve. I hereby propose the above resolution for approval. Will the shareholder please rise to second the resolution? Okay.
I second the motion. Dr. Anthony Omotola.
God bless you. I now put the resolution to the meeting. With those in favor of this resolution, please signify by proxy or show of hands.
For the purpose of voting on that resolution, is going to be by the use of device. If you are in favor of that resolution, please press 1. If you are against, please press 2. The poll is about to commence. Got in one shareholder voting. Four seconds left. 2 seconds. Poll closed. Result. At the end of the voting exercise on that resolution, we have 240 shareholders voting physically and by proxy, having shares totaling 203,225,680, representing 100%. No against. Thank you.
I hereby declare that the resolution has been carried. Special business. Questions and answer which the group managing director, chief executive officer would be willing to answer. Are there questions and answer?
All are shareholders of this company. We will be treating the more or less requiem or funeral of this company. That used to be once a promising company. But because the nature of our market gives room for free entry and free exit, we as shareholder leaders have no option than to accept our fate. But the truth there today is that the minority shareholder will be living on a very tiny amount of money, which is not the fault of this board, nor our own fault. Or the fact that the performance of the company has not made it, deem it necessary for any payment of dividend for many years. The price of the stock had remained very, very poor. By the time you people took this decision, it was nothing to write home of. The price of the stock was nothing to write home of. But today, believing that no amount of money is too small, I will beg this honorable board, as you are waving goodbye to minority shareholder, please endeavor to quickly pay the 35 kobo. Are you with me? Endeavor to quickly pay that 35 kobo. A serious investor can quickly make good decision, investment decision on that 35 kobo. You can imagine people who have a million share. If you pay that money on time, a wise investor can use it, that money, to buy into any of the blue chips company or any of these telephone companies, IT company, and we will be happy with you. Because I have checked this paper. The only thing I saw about the payment date is that the payment will be within 2 years. You understand me? But when exactly, sir? That is our prayer. We implore this board, endeavor to quickly pay it. If you give your registrar the grace that immediately or 7 days after you have taken the court decision, it is still good. Because without any gainsaying, the purchasing power of the Naira dwindle every day. This is what all of us know. Naira has lost its purchasing power. In fact, it's dwindling by the passing of each day. Endeavor to pay it. Once again, I wish this board success in all your further endeavors. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Esteemed shareholders, regulatory authorities, members of the board, I want to thank you for your support over the years. When we started, of course, we had tremendous and great hopes, but like one of the shareholders has rightly said, only who you can only appreciate the challenges that we are facing right now if you are in our shoes. In particular, despite the hard times, we thank God that the company is still an ongoing entity. But I can tell you that it has been very tough. Tough climate, tough competition, Of course, as it were, in particular last year, it was a terrible year, that is year 2020. From the bottom of my heart, I express my gratitude to all shareholders that have persisted even up to this point. In business, you learn to know when you have failed and take your stake and exit. Otherwise, you can dip yourself into a loss position, which means that the company will have zero value. And it is with mixed emotions that we are doing this, but I believe that having accepted the offer from Cedar Capital, one bird at hand is worth more than 9 in the bush. I want to thank you, and I also want to promise that by the scheme of this arrangement, I've been assured that the money will be paid very promptly. I think all things being equal, we expect that they pay this money within the next 1 month. So, God blessing us and God being on our side, I work tirelessly to ensure that shareholders have their value immediately so that they can utilize their entitlements. Once more, I thank you very much. God bless.
On behalf of the board, I want to thank all of you for coming around for this meeting. It has shown us how helpful you have been. Like the MD has said, it's unfortunate that what we are doing today, we are doing it. That was not the plan initially. It's just this market situation, economy, globally, that is dictating what is happening here. Please bear with us. On that note, I want to declare this meeting closed. This court-ordered meeting. God bless you all. National item.